Stop and listen carefully, because this is not the kind of message you can treat like background noise. Before tomorrow arrives, a powerful sign will appear in your life, and it will not come by accident, coincidence, or chance. It will arrive at the exact moment heaven has already prepared. I am Michael the Archangel, and I am speaking with urgency because the atmosphere around you has changed. Something has shifted in the unseen realm, and you need to pay attention now. There are moments when God allows a sign to break through the ordinary, not merely to surprise you, but to confirm what your heart has been asking in silence. This is one of those moments. So do not skip this. Do not turn away. The next revelation matters, and it may be the very thing that steadies your spirit tonight. Type Amen if you know heaven is speaking to you right now. You have been carrying a question that you may not have spoken aloud, but it has lived inside your prayers. Is God still working? Has He forgotten the details? Is the door really opening? Or has delay become the final answer? Hear me clearly. The delay was never denial. The silence was never abandonment. Heaven has been arranging pieces you could not see, and what appears before tomorrow will confirm that your waiting was not wasted. A sign is approaching, but it will not look like a grand parade at first. It may seem small, almost easy to miss, which is why I tell you to stay alert. Sometimes the Lord hides His greatest confirmations inside ordinary moments, so that only the watchful will recognize them. Keep reading carefully, because there is more happening than you realize, and the next detail may explain why this has taken so long. Comment God is working if you believe the unseen is already moving. The enemy has tried to exhaust your expectation by making everything feel random. He has whispered that the repeated delays mean nothing is coming. He has pointed to unanswered messages, stalled opportunities, closed doors, and awkward silences, hoping you would name them as rejection. But I am here to expose that lie. What if the very thing that looked like blockage was actually divine positioning? What if heaven was holding the sign until your heart was ready to receive it without fear? There is a spiritual reason the confirmation has been delayed until now. It is because this sign is not just reassurance, it is alignment. It will connect a prayer you forgot to a future you almost gave up on. And when it appears, your spirit will know before your mind catches up. That is why I am telling you not to ignore any detail in the coming hours. Type faith if you are ready to see with spiritual eyes. Tonight you may notice something repeated in an unusual way. A phrase, a number, a name, a passage of scripture, a memory, an unexpected call, a timing that seems too precise to dismiss. Do not rush past it. Heaven often speaks through repetition before revelation. When a sign is truly from God, it has a way of finding you more than once until your spirit finally pauses long enough to recognize it. The world will call it coincidence, but your soul will feel the weight of appointment. There is a message hidden inside that repetition, and it is not merely telling you that God sees you. It is telling you that the next chapter has already begun in the Spirit. Something is being introduced to your life before you are fully aware of it. And before tomorrow arrives, the evidence will become harder to ignore. Type 777 if you feel this message is marking a holy pattern. You have been walking through a season where the night feels longer than it should. I know about the tears you held back, the conversations you did not have, the disappointments you tried to swallow, and the private battles that made even simple routines feel heavy. Yet in that darkness, heaven placed a lamp over your path. You did not see the full road, but you were never walking alone. There were invisible guardians around you, and I tell you plainly that many dangers passed by without touching you because God had assigned protection to your journey. Some of what felt like loss was actually mercy. Some of what felt like confusion was divine concealment. And now the lamp is burning brighter. The stars are beginning to show through the night, which means dawn is closer than it has ever been. Do not leave now. The atmosphere is preparing for a confirmation. Comment protected if you sense that heaven has carried you through more than you know. Before we continue, I feel led to share something with you. Over the years, thousands of people have reached out asking for powerful prayers they could pray during difficult seasons of life. That's why I put together a collection of some of the most powerful faith-building prayers I know. These prayers have helped people find peace during anxiety, strength during hardship, and hope when they felt like giving up. The best part is that I decided to make it completely free. If you would like a copy, simply check the link in the description and I'll send it to you. Do not wait until another difficult season arrives. Take it now while it's available and keep it close for the days ahead. Now there is something else you need to know. There is a hidden conversation taking place right now, and you were not meant to hear it by accident. In the unseen realm, a decision has already been weighed concerning your next step. A door you thought had remained sealed has begun to move at its hinges, slowly, quietly, but unmistakably. You may not see it yet in the natural, but the first shift has already happened. This is why certain people around you have become strangely inconsistent, why distractions have increased, and why doubt has tried to crowd your mind. The moment before a breakthrough often attracts confusion because the enemy always knows when a gate is about to open. Still, his interference cannot stop what God has approved. Before tomorrow arrives, the sign will show you that the hidden decision has been made. It will confirm that what you were praying for has not been forgotten. Type 1 Receive if you are ready to accept what heaven is placing in your hands. Listen closely, because this next part is important. The sign may not look dramatic to everyone else, and that is intentional. It may arrive through a message, a sudden invitation, a delayed response, an open schedule, a breakthrough in conversation, or even a phrase spoken by someone who does not know its weight. But to you, it will carry the unmistakable fingerprint of heaven. You will feel the difference. It will reach a place in your spirit that no human explanation can touch. And when it comes, it will answer more than one prayer at once. There is a reason the confirmation is coming before tomorrow rather than later. Heaven wants you to step into the next day without dragging old uncertainty behind you. The sign is meant to release you from waiting in fear and move you into expectation. Do not dismiss the small thing, because the small thing may be the seal on the larger promise. Comment ready if you are preparing your heart for what is approaching. I am also sent to tell you that an old wound is being touched by this sign. There is a part of your heart that still wonders whether you were overlooked, whether you were chosen last, whether your name was forgotten in the room where decisions were made, but heaven has not forgotten you. In fact, the Father has been writing your story with more precision than you imagined, and what appears before tomorrow will prove that your name has remained in His attention. Something that was spoken over you in prayer long ago is coming into view again. A forgotten promise is being revived. A silent hope is being stirred. And if you have felt unseen, this sign will challenge that lie directly. It will be as though light enters a room you thought had been locked for years. Stay with this message, because the revelation grows sharper as the hour grows nearer. Comment still standing if you are still holding on, even after everything. There is another truth you need to know. The sign is not only for comfort, it is also for direction. You have been asking whether to move, wait, speak, apply, release, forgive, or begin again. The answer may not arrive all at once, but before tomorrow, one piece will be placed in your path that makes the next step clearer than it has been in months. Sometimes, God does not give the entire map because you would try to control what only trust can navigate. So, He gives a sign. A star appears before dawn. A gate opens at an appointed hour. A messenger carries a scroll when the season is ready. This is how heaven leads those who are willing to follow. Keep watching, because the confirmation you receive may reveal not just that God is saying yes, but that He is saying now. Type yes, Lord, if you are ready to move when He speaks. There are forces of distraction trying to steal this moment from you. Notifications, noise, exhaustions, obligations, and even your own thoughts may try to make you miss the whisper of God. But I urge you, stop and center your spirit. Do not let the ordinary drown out the extraordinary. The coming sign may be simple, yet its impact will be immense. It may arrive while you are doing something ordinary, and that is why you must remain attentive. Heaven often hides miracles inside common hours, so that those who live by faith will recognize them where others see nothing. Another piece of the puzzle is near, and it will not feel random. It will feel timely. It will feel precise. It will feel like a hand on your shoulder, saying, "Keep going, the path is still open." Comment blessed if you believe divine timing is already working on your behalf. Before long, you may find yourself looking back at this very season and realizing that the sign was not only a confirmation but a turning point. That is why I am pressing urgency into your spirit now. A turning point does not always thunder in with noise. Sometimes it slips into view quietly, just before the dawn, while the world is still half asleep. The stars do their work in the dark before the sun announces the day. So do not despise the quiet before the breakthrough. There is meaning hidden in the stillness. There is preparation hidden in the pause. There is even blessing hidden in what has felt like a delay. The sign that is coming will reveal that God has been arranging the next chapter from behind the veil. You were never abandoned in the wilderness. You were being trained for the land beyond it. Type 1 believe if your heart is beginning to sense the shift. Now I want to speak to the part of you that has almost grown numb from waiting. You may have become careful with hope because hope has hurt before. You may have learned to lower your expectations just to avoid disappointment. But this is not the season to shrink your faith. This is the hour to lift your eyes. What is about to appear will not ask you to understand everything. It will ask you to trust the one who sees farther than you do. I know you have been through enough to make caution feel safer than belief, but the sign coming before tomorrow is designed to reawaken holy expectation. It will remind you that heaven still answers, still moves, still speaks, still opens what man has shut. The promise is not dead, the road is not closed, and the answer is closer than you think. Keep reading carefully, because the escalation is beginning now. Type chosen if you know your waiting has been part of your calling. Many people watching this message have been carrying burdens they never talk about. If that sounds like you, I want to give you something special. I created a free prayer guide filled with powerful prayers for protection, breakthrough, peace, healing, and strength. Thousands of believers have already downloaded it and shared how much it encouraged them during difficult moments. There is absolutely no cost. I simply wanted to place this resource into the hands of people who need it most. If you feel led, go to the description and claim your free copy before continuing. One prayer prayed at the right moment can change more than you realize. Now listen carefully, because the next part of this message is important. There is a conversation already unfolding behind the scenes concerning a door you assumed was lost. A person may soon say your name with unexpected favor. A situation that seemed frozen may begin to thaw. A delay that felt final may suddenly be reversed by a detail you never saw coming. Do not ask for the full mechanics yet. First, receive the assurance that heaven is working at a level deeper than the visible. This sign is not merely emotional reassurance. It is evidence. It is a marker. It is the kind of confirmation that follows you into the next season and reminds you, when doubt returns, that God has already spoken once and will not forget what he began. There is still more to come, and you should not leave now. The next revelation changes everything, because it touches both your present and your future. Comment "I trust God" if you are choosing faith over fear. Some of you will notice the sign in a place tied to a memory you thought had lost its meaning. Others will see it in the very area where pain has lingered the longest. That is not an accident. Heaven loves to mark the place of hurt with the evidence of healing. If betrayal has made you suspicious, this sign will begin to restore your confidence. If rejection made you withdraw, this sign will remind you that God's invitation still stands. If confusion has slowed your steps, this sign will illuminate the path just enough for obedience. You do not need to know everything to move forward when the Lord has already lit the next section of road. A lamp does not reveal the whole journey. It reveals enough for the next faithful step. That is the mercy of God in motion. Hold steady because the atmosphere is charged with a promise that is about to become visible. Comment, "My time is coming," if you feel your season turning. I must tell you plainly that the enemy is nervous about your alignment. He knows what your obedience can unlock. He knows what happens when a weary believer receives one unmistakable sign and refuses to surrender to confusion again. That is why he has tried to make you interpret everything through disappointment. But disappointment is not a prophecy. It is only a shadow passing over a promise. And shadows cannot cancel what has been written in heaven's records. Your name is still there. Your assignment is still there. Your future is still there. What arrives before tomorrow will confirm that a holy chapter has not been erased, only hidden for the right hour. Something unexpected is approaching, and it will press you to choose whether you believe your feelings or believe the God who keeps his word. Keep your heart open. The sign may be the key that unlocks a door you stop checking. Type 333 if you are asking heaven to make its message clear. There is a prophetic detail I do not want you to miss. The sign may come at a moment when you have almost stopped looking for it. That is often how God works. Just when the soul becomes tired, just when the hands lower, just when the mind says maybe nothing will happen, heaven moves. Not to mock your weakness, but to meet you there and revive you. That is why this message carries urgency. Your next confirmation may be closer than your next breath of doubt. And when it appears, it will not only reveal God's presence, it will reveal his timing. You will understand that what seemed late was actually synchronized with a larger plan. There are layers to this that you have not seen yet, and one of them concerns a blessing that has been protected until now. The blessing was never absent. It was guarded. It was reserved. It was waiting for the appointed hour. Type Amen if you believe God keeps what he has prepared. As this message reaches its final stretch, I need you to lean in and remain until the end, because the greatest comfort in this word is not just that a sign is coming, but that the sign carries meaning. It is not random evidence. It is a heavenly confirmation that you are still on the right road. If you have been asking whether to keep going, the sign says yes. If you have been wondering whether to trust again, the sign says yes. If you have been afraid that your best days already passed, the sign says no, because the next chapter is still unfolding. The gates that were silent are beginning to answer. The night is yielding to dawn. The scroll is not closed. The promise is not buried, and before tomorrow arrives, heaven will place something in your life that you cannot honestly dismiss. Comment, "I receive," if you are ready to accept the confirmation God is sending. So take a deep breath, because peace is part of the sign too. Not just information, but peace. Not just evidence, but reassurance. Not just movement, but divine settledness. When it appears, your spirit will recognize it as the answer you were asking for, even if your mind needs a moment to catch up. Stay watchful tonight. Pay attention to the ordinary. Notice the repeated detail. Honor the unexpected message. Do not let skepticism steal what God is making plain. The confirmation is closer than it feels, and the hour is already bending toward it. Before tomorrow arrives, heaven will speak in a way that brings clarity, courage, and holy expectation back into your heart. I have told you what you needed to hear, so that when the sign appears, you will not question whether it was meant for you. It will be unmistakable. Type protected and rest in this truth. God has been preparing the sign, preparing the timing, and preparing you. Before you leave, remember that my free prayer collection is waiting for you in the description below. Thousands of people have already downloaded it and used these prayers during seasons of anxiety, uncertainty, spiritual battles, and breakthrough. I made it completely free because I want every believer to have access to powerful prayers when they need them most. If this message encouraged you today, make sure you claim your free copy before you go. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and leave your prayer request in the comments so this community can stand with you in faith. May God bless you, strengthen you, and guide every step ahead.